Hi, everyone. It's Elizabeth Mathern from Cook Baxter Immigration. We're doing our Facebook Live today. I am going to be giving you today's immigration updates, answering your questions live, and anything else you guys want to do. We'll spend a few minutes together. I'll give you some updates, and we'll see what we can get done. All right, we've got a lot going on here on my computer. Let me mute some of these alarms. Welcome, I'm Elizabeth Mathern, Cook Baxter Immigration. Today I'm doing our immigration updates. I am coming to you from the Adel office, which is in South Georgia. Our number here is 229-472-5775. And of course, we also have an Atlanta office. Number there is 404-816-8611. And I am here today to give you today's updates. If you were looking for diversity lotto updates, scroll down to Mr. Cook's live that he already did today, and you can get the latest update on diversity lotto. Big victory for us, everyone involved. Really, really exciting news. Mr. Cook did a Facebook Live today, earlier today, with all the latest information. I am not going to be the one to give you all the diversity lotto update, okay? So if that's what you're looking for, you can just go ahead and scroll over to Mr. Cook's diversity lotto update that was done today, all right? That's going to be the latest news. Anup, I see that you asked what happened in the DV Lotto case. That I'm going to direct you to go over and check out Mr. Cook's diversity lotto update, okay? It's good news. Everything's looking great. So, Arissa, I'm not going to be talking about diversity lotto today. So you can scroll down on our Facebook page just a little bit further down, and you'll see Mr. Cook's Facebook Live that was done just a few hours ago. Okay, that's going to be your latest news on the diversity lotto case. As far as 2021, we don't know what's going on with that. Maybe we'll have a different president, and maybe things will be a little bit different. Maybe a little more predictable. I feel like we're all on quite a roller coaster. Hi, Randy. Hi, Ahmad. Thanks for joining. Hi, Enrique. Welcome. Welcome from Nicaragua. Bienvenidos. Okay, so I feel like we're on a bit of a roller coaster. All the USCIS fees were supposed to go up, some slightly down. Big changes were happening. All the packets were going to have to be shipped out basically today. And last night we hear that a federal court, I think it was 2 federal courts, enjoined the fee increase, which means that that has been frozen for now. And the previous fees are still in effect. Randy will definitely tell Raymond hi for you. Rosemary, I'll talk about DACA and what I know in a few minutes, okay? And hello, Mohammed. I love the roll call. Everybody put where you're like joining us from. That's amazing. That makes me happy. Okay, so as far as fees, they are not going up as of right now. As I mentioned, it feels like we're on that roller coaster. Every day, it's like new information, which is why we do these Facebook Lives, so we can keep you up to date. Because if we tried to plan ahead of time what we were going to talk about, for sure, that would be changed, because every day it's something new. So last night, a federal court ruled that basically the Trump administration has attempted to implement a new policy once again without necessarily showing why they are doing this. So, you know, whenever the government makes big changes, there has to be some level of weighing and balancing and having like kind of a reasonable basis, other than just punishing people or because they want to, right? It has to be tied to some sort of public necessity, weighing and balancing of needs. So as of right now, those fee increases are frozen. Another thing that was tied to that same set of changes was fee waivers. So fee waivers were pretty much going to go away except for a few special categories and their derivative applications. For example, special immigrant juvenile petition, and then like a subsequent naturalization or something would remain having a fee waiver. That's also paused. Okay, so who knows how long that's going to last, if maybe the administration is going to push back and they're going to be successful on a string of motions. So far, that hasn't really been the case of how these things are going. What seems to be more in line with what we're seeing is the courts remind this administration of the law, and then they kind of decide to do what they want anyway. So, and that's just my personal opinion as an immigration lawyer practicing in this field every day. All right, let's talk about DACA. We don't have any new news on DACA. The only thing that, similar to what I was saying about the fees, the Supreme Court said that the administration didn't present any well thought out reasons for why they took away DACA. That it was arbitrary and capricious was the words that they used. And so it froze the administration's attempts to roll back DACA and supposedly put it back in the shoes of 2012. However, the administration posted on the USCIS website that they basically didn't agree with the decision and weren't necessarily going to follow it. So it's our understanding that no initial applications will be adjudicated. Advanced parole still appears that it's in play, but we have no idea what is going to rise to the level of urgent or like a valid reason. And we don't know how long those are going to take. So theoretically, the administration could just sit on them until we see what happens in this election. Okay, another thing I wanted to give y'all an update about. Let's see. Anybody who's posting questions about diversity lotto, I'm not going to talk about diversity lotto today. I appreciate your interest in that. That is Mr. Cook's wheelhouse. And he already did a Facebook Live update on that this morning. So if you missed that, feel free to jump over to that. I mean, you can stay with me and we'll talk through some stuff. And after I'm finished, you can look at Mr. Cook's Facebook Live, which is the most recent update on Diversity Lotto 2020 case. As far as Diversity Lotto for 2021, I don't have any updates on that either. So Mr. Cook may point to that in his video, but I have the impression that we don't know anything about what's going to happen with Diversity Lotto 2021. We have a big election happening right now in the United States, and that's probably going to influence what happens with 2021, okay? Let's see. All right, Danae is asking if we know the status of Ciudad Juarez. I don't, off the top of my head, know the status of Ciudad Juarez, but it's my understanding, based on some cases that I have, that they are, let's see, that may be not Mexico that I'm thinking of, but the consulates are reopening and starting to schedule appointments. So I can answer that, and I'll double check what's going on there today, and I'll answer that in the comments for you. Okay, Danae? All right, let's see. This question, all right, we'll just go in order. Monica, I have an application since 2001. My dad had too many years here. He's a resident, too much time waiting to fix my status with immigration. Okay, so Monica, maybe you're talking about you have had an application pending since 2001. The first thing that comes to my mind when I think about an application filed in 2001 is 245I. So if somebody had petitioned for you and the application is approvable upon filing, like it looks good enough, you know, like it's an application that's valid when it was submitted, you may be eligible for what's called 245I benefits. So that's a pretty complicated analysis and sort of rabbit hole for us to go down right now. But I think that if you have a petition that somebody filed for you in 2001, it'd be a really good idea for you to bring those documents, anything you have showing that petition, and do a consultation with one of our lawyers. Right now, we're doing free Skype or phone initial consultations. You can go online to book. You can do that through our Facebook page. Pick the lawyer you want to meet with. Go ahead and book the appointment right then and there. Or you can call either of our offices. 404-816-8611 is the main office, or South Georgia office where I am is 229-472-5775. And you would then just email or fax copies of all those documents that you have regarding that petition. And let's see if there's anything we can do to either move that along or give you some other pathway to seek residency based on the fact that somebody petitioned for you a long time ago. That is very, very helpful in many situations. So you might have a good thing going there. All right. Mariana, you are very welcome. It is my pleasure to be here with y'all and spend a few minutes answering questions and giving you the updates that I know of. So regarding the fee increase, you might, I don't know if you joined when I was saying that last night, a federal court ruled that the fee increase was frozen. So the fees are not going up as of right now. So that may answer your question. Regardless of when PERM was filed, approved, the I-140 fees is also changing starting October 1st. So the answer to that question right there is, no, that's not correct as of this moment. Fee increases did not go up, okay? So even supposedly after October 2nd, okay? We will see what happens and check back here for the latest updates on that. But at this point, if the form was sent with the old fee, even if it doesn't make it by October 1st, it makes it October 2nd, at this point, it should be okay. All right? Okay. Mohammed, I will definitely post a link to Mr. Cook's DV 2020 update. But you can go to the Cook-Baxter immigration page and you should see it there. It was done today. But once I finish, I'll post a link for everybody who wants to know. All right. I don't know if Uzbekistan is open yet. What will be the fate of those under administrative investigation? That sounds like a DV Lotto question. I don't know the answer to that because those questions are being answered in Mr. Cook's DV update. If he didn't answer it in his update today, it's not something that we can answer at this point in the litigation or the process that things are going through. Okay, let's see. Thanks for all the questions and checking in and saying hi and telling us where you're joining us from. It's amazing. So feel free to keep doing that. I'm trying to work through the questions. This one, I don't know if it's covering up my face on the screen, but that's fine. Okay, Lily, thank you for your question. Her husband and her are about to apply for her citizenship. She came here when she was 3. Her husband suffers from narcolepsy, and he needs her with him. Okay, Lily, this is a fact-specific question that I think can be explained to you in a consultation, so I recommend that's what you do. I'm going to speak more generally about ways that people can adjust status, okay? So if you entered without a visa, and you marry a U.S. citizen, you have to have a legal entry for you to adjust status here in the United States. So what sometimes people do, if they have DACA, they can use an advance parole to go out, come back in, and then file that immediate relative one-step petition. That's not as easy right now. Another avenue for adjusting your status, if you entered without inspection, you're married to a U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident, is a 601A waiver, which is a provisional waiver, and that is available for people who only have a grounds of inadmissibility related to being here in the United States without authorization for over 1 year. It's called an unlawful presence bar. So that waiver is related to the hardship that your U.S. citizen spouse would suffer if you were separated because you had to go back to your home country, or if you guys had to both take the family to your home country. So that is a pretty detailed analysis and is case by case and all of that. It has to be a level of what's called extreme hardship, and that has usually got to be something that's different, unusual, or more aggravated than what a normal family or just a family suffers when they're separated from a loved one. So, you know, medical conditions like narcolepsy, things where a person literally needs their partner with them at all times to make sure that they don't hurt, endanger themselves or others. Because my understanding of narcolepsy, you can just fall asleep like that. It's a very, very life-altering condition. So that may be something that works with the provisional waiver. So I think in order for you to piece out what you need to do specifically in your case based on your situation, Lily, please take advantage of the free consultations and give us a call. It's 404-816-8611. That's phone or Skype consultations. We do some in-person consultations, but we're requiring masks, and those are paid. You're more than welcome to join us. Hi, folks, I'm back. I think it glitched out a little on me. I'm in South Georgia, in Adel. We don't always have this most stable internet. Okay, let's see. Also, is there help from the consulate in Mexico with payments? I know there's help with DACA. I think that there is assistance from the Mexican consulate under certain circumstances. I can't give you a rundown on exactly what those are, but if you want to inquire, feel free during the consultation. Let's see. Hi. I think that not many people call me Beth, but I don't mind. Dania, nice to see you. And let's see. All right, you're asking about the fees. My immigration lawyer told me that the fees are going up after October 2nd, but I keep hearing many different answers. He also told me that I should try advanced parole. So I would never stand in the way of your immigration lawyer's advice to you because they know more about your case than I do. I can tell you generally that a federal court did stop the fee increase last night. We don't know what's going to happen, when that might change, but that is where we are right now. So the fee increase may not be a factor in your case, but who knows? I don't know sort of where your case is along the railroad track of the process. And then advanced parole to help you get residency. So advanced parole is really helpful in general when someone entered without inspection and they're married to a U.S. citizen. So if you go out of the country and you come back in with a lawful admission, you are inspected and admitted, and that puts you into a different category, making you eligible to adjust your status here in the United States. So the really cool thing about advanced parole is it's available still. We aren't quite sure how that's being processed. We've got several cases out there, and they may take a while. So I don't know, we're filing them with like super urgent matters, but then the processing delay, everything at USCIS seems to take longer now. I think we looked up the average processing time for lawful permanent residency here in Atlanta was like 9 months to 29 months. That's a huge window for people to not really be able to predict when something's going to be processed. And that's frustrating. USCIS has an incredible backlog. So, Dania, I would say, listen to your lawyer. And if you want to ask any other general questions, I'd be happy to answer them. All right, let's see. Do we have any update about Judge White's decision in the NAM case regarding F2A visas? I do not have an update on that. But I tell you what, Andrea, if I find one, I'll post it in the comments. All right, I've got a few more minutes. Feel free to post any other questions that you have. Oh, you're very welcome, Dania. Thank you for asking. Let me go through a couple of the things that I already brought up, just in case people are joining us late. My name's Elizabeth Mathern. I am the attorney down in the South Georgia office. That is in Adel, Georgia, which is halfway between Tifton and Valdosta, right off I-75. I do a lot of family-based petitions, humanitarian-based petitions, removal defense. I represent people in all three of the detention centers, Stewart, Irwin, Folkston. And some weird stuff going on with the courts right now is Folkston cases are now going to be heard by Stewart. We don't know how long that's going to last, and that is messing up some people's calendars. So like maybe they already had an individual hearing set and now their case is being shifted to the Stewart court, and that's going to have to be reset based on those judges' calendars in Stewart. So pro tip for you, if you or your loved one has a case pending in immigration court, non-detained or detained, there's a hotline you can call. I will put it on the screen real quick. The EOIR hotline. If you have your A number, you can call this and check on your court date. So I anticipate that this is the EOIR hotline. You need to have your A number. You need to follow the prompts for your court date, and you can check that like frequently. There's a lot going on right now. A lot of changes may be happening. So Folkston cases are now going to be heard by Stewart. Irwin cases are potentially look like they're still being heard by Atlanta 180 Ted Turner. And Stewart's, of course, still being heard in Stewart. There are only 4 judges in Stewart. I'm sorry, 5 judges in Stewart. There's no more room to add more judges. So it doesn't make a lot of sense why they're adding more cases to those dockets. But we'll see. Okay, and 401 West Peachtree is a non-detained court. That court is supposed to be reopening to be hearing cases starting, I think, October 13th. Now, it's supposed to be a phased reopening. So what that looks like, we don't really know. I guess we'll start at phase 1. And I think that means that they will still try to keep the number of people in the building down. So that's why I've got this hotline up there. So if you had a case that was set at 180 years ago and maybe it got moved to West Peachtree, or maybe you've got something coming up at West Peachtree, call the hotline. Keep apprised of any changes, because we are starting to see some stuff being bumped way out to even like 2022, 2025. There is an enormous backlog. As far as I know, 180 Ted Turner non-detained cases, which I don't think there are anymore, because I think they shifted all of those non-detained cases from 180 over to West Peachtree. So there shouldn't, but there may be some really old cases still on the books at 180 Ted Turner. So non-detained court for 180 Ted Turner is still not reopened. According to the operational status website on EOIR, which is Executive Office of Immigration Review, that's what we call immigration court. It's a fancy long name for immigration court. So yeah, be proactive. Take an invested interest in your case and call the hotline. You can call it every day, multiple times a day. Nobody's keeping count of how many times you call. Nobody will know. So, and I will just give you another pro tip. It usually changes like after 5, because I guess they like do work during the day and then it uploads once they shut the computers down. So changes are usually heard at night or first thing in the morning, right? But there's not usually much change during the workday. Okay. All right, great. Let's see here. I have a couple of minutes. Carlos is just joining. Okay, Carlos, I think this is probably in Atlanta, talking about reporting to ICE. So we are still on a phone reporting schedule. I actually emailed with one of the supervising officer over there that is over like non-detained reporting. And he said that still there's no reopening date or date for the appointments to start back. They originally told everybody October. So yeah, you are, and then also I think that the number they posted outside when they first posted the number, it was wrong. So what I would do is I would just make a note that y'all went there and make sure that you are watching out for any phone calls. So if ICE tries to call your dad and check in with him that way, that would be something you need to make sure that you get those calls. If for any reason, if you're not represented and you want to have a lawyer to sort of help your dad navigate this check-in stuff, because things are so weird during COVID, we can help you with that. I know that for my clients with like pending stays or orders of supervision, I email the officers for them so we can keep like a paper trail that they attempted to report. So that can come in handy. All right, for those of you just joining, I am getting close to wrapping up, but any news about diversity lotto litigation 2020 can be found on Mr. Cook's updates. He did one today all about the most updated information for DV Lotto. So go to our Facebook page, scroll down to Mr. Cook's Facebook Live that was done just a few hours ago, and you'll get all the latest DV Lotto information there. Any questions you have on DV Lotto, you can post on that Facebook page, and the team that's working on that litigation will respond. Okay, you can also message us, or if you have any questions specific to your case and you'd like to do a consultation with us, you can do that too. Right now, we are offering free initial consultations, phone and Skype. You're welcome, Nancy. You're very, very welcome. You can call us at 404-816-8611, or here in the ADEL office is 229-472-5775. All right. I don't think I got to everybody's question today. I'm sorry if I didn't get to your question. Please feel free to keep checking back the comments. If you didn't ask a question while we were live, but you have a question, feel free to post that in the chat or in the comments section. I will get back to these questions ASAP. Very quickly, okay? So if I didn't get to you, look for an answer. And thank you so much for joining us today. It was nice to be with you, and very cool to have people from all over the world joining us, all over the country. Once again, I am Elizabeth Mathern, and I am signing off from our Facebook Live Immigration Law Updates. Thank you so much. Happy Wednesday. Hope y'all have a fantastic rest of the week. Bye-bye.